A bitter war rose between Okaka and Ashala. Within the king's own court, men whose hearts had long rotted with ambition wove a secret plot. Their greed sought the fall of both king and prince, hoping the throne would crumble into their hands like dust. The day of battle dawned with drums that shook the earth. The king marched with his son, unaware that betrayal had already darkened the air around them. On the battlefield, where spears glinted like fangs and the spirits of war circled overhead, the prince fell under the blades of traitors. The king escaped, but his soul returned broken, leaving the land soaked in grief. Wails filled the palace, echoing through halls that had once known only honor. Sickness crept into King Obi's bones. With the weight of sorrow crushing his spirit, he placed the burden of leadership upon his brother, Ike. But fate was not done with Okaka. Another war rose like a storm on the horizon, and tradition declared that only a king, or the rightful heir, could lead the warriors. Princess Adanna, child of the lion-hearted king, carried herself with the calm strength of the ancestors. She stood before the council, not as a grieving daughter, but as the last ember of a dying flame, unwilling to be extinguished. Though resistance rose against her, fate had already chosen its instrument. Her father's blessing, weak yet powerful, rested upon her like a mantle woven by the gods. When dawn broke, Adanna walked to war carrying a sword forged by Amadi, the blacksmith whose heart beat in rhythm with hers. That sword, shaped in the heat of his workshop and cooled by ancestral prayers, gleamed with silent promise. On the battlefield, the warrior princess fought like a storm loosed from the heavens. Her courage ignited the men of Okaka, turning fear into fury, despair into thunder. By sunset, the enemies of Okaka bowed to the earth, their shadows swallowed by defeat. Victory returned with her. To honor her bravery, a decree swept across the land. The man she chose would stand as the next king, for she had become the true lifeblood of Okaka. When she introduced Amadi, the humble blacksmith who had quietly strengthened her spirit long before she strengthened a kingdom, from that day the drums of Okaka sang a new story, of a princess who rose when all hope had fallen, of a love forged in fire, and of a kingdom saved by the courage of a daughter. The warrior princess of Okaka became a myth whispered to children, praised by griots, and carved into the memory of generations, an eternal reminder that true royalty is not born, it rises.